So, hello, my name is Oliver Wright, so I'm going to upload this video onto YouTube. So what this video is going to be about is I bought a new MacBook Pro today, the ones that just got released this week. Today was the first day you could actually physically get your hands on them, and I'm going to test it against my older iMac. So when I saw the announcement this week about the new MacBook Pros, I was like, God, they're hideously expensive, and I've been running a 2015 MacBook Pro, and it is getting a bit long in the tooth, especially with the type of photography that I do. And I also run this iMac, so sometimes I'm in the UK, in which case I'm using this iMac, and then sometimes I'm working abroad, in which case I take my MacBook Pro with me, and then I've always got these problems of having different things on different computers, and I wanted to go to one computer. So I originally looked at the MacBook Pro and just thought, God, they are hideously expensive. And I spoke to the guys at Apple, and I said, well, is it going to be any quicker than my iMac? So this iMac, late 2015, it's a Retina 5K. I got the fastest processor at the time, which was a 4 gigahertz Intel Core i7. It's got 32 gigabytes of RAM in it, and it had the fastest graphics card you could upgrade it to, which is an AMD Radeon R9, 4 gigabytes. And it's got a 1 terabyte solid state drive in there as well. They said, well, if you get the top end one, so this is, again, it's totally maxed out, so it's got the brand new 8-core processor, 2.4 gigahertz Core i9, it's got 32 gigabytes of RAM in it, and it's also got the fastest graphics card that you can get, the Radeon Pro Vega 20, 4 gigabytes. So they're both maxed out machines, and the guys in Apple said, this one's going to be loads quicker than my iMac. And I thought, well, if that's the case, I can sell both my iMac and my MacBook Pro, and that actually comes to nearly what this machine costs, give or take. And then I'm just running one machine. It's going to make life a lot easier for me, and I'm thinking, well, and then if it's faster on top, then it's a bit of a no-brainer. The other thing I was worried about is this thermal throttling issue I was reading around, etc. So I thought I would do a little test. I do sort of quite a complex type of photography a lot of the time. It's called stacking images, where I take multiple images and then I merge them all together to get a bigger depth of field. I use a Canon 5D Mark IV, which produces very large RAW files, and then I upload these images into Lightroom. I then move them across to Photoshop, and then I go through the stacking process, and it takes some time, and it's very computer intensive. So what I've got here is I've only got Lightroom opened on both machines, so it should be fairly similar. I've highlighted 25 RAW files in Lightroom, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing on both machines at more or less the same time. So edit in, open as layers in Photoshop, so I'm going to start the timer and click the button. So we'll see what happens really, which one is quicker. Why is that one got a bouncing up and down? Oh no, it's just doing its thing. So you can see here already the MacBook Pro is significantly in front. So basically what it's doing now is it's taking those raw files from Lightroom, and then it's going to be opening them up as individual layers. So there's 25 images there, instead of raw files. As Lightroom, as the files move from Lightroom to Photoshop, it converts them to TIFF files as well, so they sort of double in size. So again, yeah, there's quite a lot of processing going on there. I can hear no fans, so that is a good sign. Up to 45 seconds. So, I mean, if this machine does turn out to be much quicker, it is going to make my life so much easier just running one machine. So I'll sell this iMac, probably buy just a separate screen, and then I'll just be working off this machine. So there's still the layers are still loading on both machines. Oh, there we go. So it's done it on this one. So let's do the next stage. Select the layers, edit, auto align. Okay. iMac is still chugging away. So for the first stage, MacBook Pro is definitely quicker. I can hear some fans now. Yeah, and that's coming from the MacBook Pro. Oh, right, this one's done, just done. So, edit, auto align, go. But this, what basically when it's doing aligning, it's taking these 25 layers and then it's just lining them all up so they're perfectly in alignment. And this one's actually nearly done it. And the align stage is often the stage which takes the longest. So it's just generating output panorama. Right, it's done that. So edit, auto blend. So seamless tones and colours. Yeah, okay. Go. So we're on 2.5 minutes. Now this is just a small stack, 25 images. Sometimes it might be 90 images, you know, and that is sometimes taking 45 minutes on this machine. So yeah, if it can save me time, that is going to be a bonus. And the fans are not working anymore now. So basically, so this machine's still aligning. This one is now stacking. And what it's basically doing is it's looking at each of those individual images and working out which bits are in focus and which bits are not, and then it'll be creating layer masks in between. So it also shows the size of the amount of data that's in there with these layers. So this one is on 4.93 gigabytes. So this one has nearly finished the aligning. There we go, it's done it. So edit, auto blend, stack images, good, there we go. So we're at 3 minutes 45 now. Let's have a little snooze. No fans, so you know the processor is going to be under heavy usage. And no fans going, so that is a very good thing. Yeah, when I put on social media, I'd put a post on there about this new machine coming out, and I had quite a lot of people going, well, it's just pointless getting an i9 processor because it just firmly throttles and you can't get the full speed out of the machine. So if there is any throttling going on, I don't have the tools to be able to show whether it is or it isn't. But it's certainly not running hot because there's no fan. But it's certainly going way quicker than this machine. Come on. I may speed this bit of the video up a little bit. Five minutes 13. Oh, right, creating layer mask for blending, so it's its final stages. That's on the MacBook Pro. I can hear a tiny little bit of fan noise, but it's not going supernova by any means. Creating seamless composition. Boom, it has done it. So that's 6 minutes. 6 minutes for the MacBook Pro. Well, sorry iMac, it looks like you may be getting sold. So 6 minutes, and so that image, I mean, at the moment, it's weighing in at 5.54 gigabytes in size, so that's a lot of data for one photograph. I would then, so at the moment, I don't need it, that going forward, I don't need it to be multiple layers with all these masks, so I would flatten that image like that, and then that takes it down to 181.7 megabytes. iMac is still going, we're up to 7 minutes, so that's a full minute on the MacBook Pro. Oh, I did see the blue bar just move a tiny bit there. But you can see why I did not do a 90 image stack. So coming up to, we're on 8 minutes now, so that's 2 minutes difference. I mean, that is considerable. So as we can see here, it's not even a close thing, that this portable computer versus, you know, this powerhouse of a, you know, admittedly slightly older iMac. But when I described the spec of this iMac to the guys in the Apple store, they were like, well, that's still a very substantial machine. 8.5 minutes. Ah, right, it's moving now. Oh, and it stopped again. Ah, right, it's on the final stages now. 9 minutes. Creating seamless composition. Oh, right, it's done it. So 9 minutes 16. So the brand new MacBook Pro, fully loaded, did it in 6 minutes. My late 2015 fully loaded iMac did it in 9 minutes. 9 minutes 16. So I would estimate that says that this has done it, what, 32% quicker. So, and you know, it's not like this is the latest iMac. This is a, you know, this is a portable laptop. This is a MacBook Pro, this tiny little skinny thing. Completely trounces this thing. So I mean, 33% quicker. So, and no fan noise, no thermal throttling. So I mean, obviously there's going to be people doing much more intensive tests than mine, but that looks pretty good for me. So I will stick this video up on YouTube. You got any questions or anything, just stick them in the comments. Have a look at my other videos. They're all things about macro photography, giant auroras happening in the winter. There may be stuff you like. Anyway, well, I hope that was useful. Goodbye.